All right. Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup warm-up session. You need to have standards and goals.
Well, I'm not too sure what the standard is, and I certainly don't have gold.
None of us have gold, unless they're in our teeth, but they don't even do that anymore. It's amalgamated mercury or some nonsense. Not even silver anymore.
It's hard to get precious metals. They don't make it easy.
Yeah. Well, now they've valued things in such a state that food is considered precious.
And truth be told, I think it's going to wind up getting more precious. As we go down the road, yeah, it's going to happen.
Things are supposed to get easier.
Well, I think we got to see what's going to happen. I don't foresee it getting easier. I don't care. I think it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, well, if it happens the way I don't want it to happen, I'm moving to Costa Rica or Panama or Belize or somewhere and raise alpacas with my mother.
Well, whatever you do, don't forget your long wire. I want to hook up with you.
Yeah, my Barker and Williamson and my big wire antennae.
By golly, I think that thing would do it. I think we could do that. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I don't want you to push the issue, though.
I don't know if I'd be bringing that thing with me or not, to be honest. I don't know. I'd have to consider that. But I'd certainly bring my transceiver and my big antennae. Figure it out from there.
Well, when I see that plane is the only one on the runway and it can't get up off the ground, I know it's you and what you got on it.
Yeah, I think it might be a little expensive. They're going to charge me extra weight.
Yeah, I do believe so. You'll have to get on one of those old military planes where they carry the tanks and jeeps.
There's children that weigh less. Pretty funny when you put it that way. There's children that weigh less than my radio.
Geez, yeah, I don't know. I don't. You might not want to leave that behind. You know, you only have to pay for it once.
Yeah, certainly would. Only have to pay for it once, and well, I've already paid for it once. Let's say, so I'd be paying for it the second time. But anyway, it'd be worth it to have it. I really don't want to give it up.
Yeah. Plus, them guys down here too. You know, they have a way of making things work with cans and string. You know what I'm saying? They make do with what they got around the wayside there. They do pretty well, actually.
That Snowman Memorial transmitter will be around longer than either of us and still working.
I hear some of them guys down there, boy. They actually sound pretty bad, but they got a heck of a big signal, you know what I mean?
Well, I won't have a heck of a big signal, but I'll sound really good.
Well, I figure if you start out with that, you know which direction you have to go to get bigger, but, you know, and you're a little better off than most of them guys are down there.
Well, if I do this particular thing that is being thrown around, idea-wise, it would be my Yaesu, my B&W, my antenna tuner, my big antenna, my power supplies, and my amp. Everything else would have to move along, because that gear right there, I'll be able to do everything I need to do.
Well, we'll put them in a big box called necessities, electronic necessities.
Yeah, I have to leave all the CBs behind. Give them to Dave and you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like I said, hopefully that don't happen. But, gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared. It's not looking promising on this side. Stateside, it's not looking promising.
Never thought I'd see it, but the day is coming where the possibility is becoming real. And I don't want to be in the political turmoil no more. I'm tired of being, the target of all the world's miscreants, and they all hate us. So I'll move to a country that nobody pays attention to, and 90% of the population can't find it on a map.
Yeah, you want to retire peacefully and not all the hoopla. I get it. Well, I guess that's a dream that might happen.
Well, it's getting serious when the wife starts doing the research. I just sort of throw it out there. But then she starts doing the research, and she's got it narrowed down to 3 places: Costa Rica, Belize, and Panama. They're all stable governments. They got reasonably good health care, and a decent cost of living. So, and the weather's nice. So if she's doing the research, it's more real than if I was just talking about it.
I think my favorite one out of the bunch that you mentioned would be Belize. I think that would be interesting. Somebody was saying at work last week, I think it was. Now that California made the minimum wage, I think like $20 or something like that an hour. These companies, most of them are shutting down and just bailing out. Well, now the governor's trying to say, well, you can no longer shut your business now. Now, do you believe that nonsense? What's the deal with that? I mean, where did they get off saying that?
That sounds a little too close to communism for my liking. Wait a minute. You've made it untenable for my business to be able to make a profit. I can't afford to stay in business, but now you're telling me I can't close my business, and you made it untenable. Hey, get the hell out of here. This is the United States of America. Get the hell out of here. It's unreal. It's getting out of control.
Oh, I thought exactly the same thing. I'm looking at it the same way you are. It's ridiculous, and I can't believe these nitwits are getting away with it or even trying, and everybody else is sitting idle with it. I don't understand. So they're throwing me for a loop, and sooner or later.
See, the problem is you got all these government officials that ain't never done anything but have a government job, ain't never been in the real world, never ran a business, don't know nothing about anything, and they seem to have forgotten somewhere along the line that they're elected and hired by the people to take care of business of the government, not telling us how to live our lives. And that's like why I want to get out of here. I need to retire in peace and stay out of this freaking stupid political turmoil that's just complete and utter nonsense. The government has completely and utterly overstepped their bounds and continue to do more all the time. But then they call me the extremist.
That's right. And then the other thing, and I heard about this before, it's not only in California, but I forget where it was. But like, if you get up and leave the state, you want to move out of the, I don't know if it's city boundaries or state. You got to pay a tax to leave or something like that. I'm not familiar where it's at, but I know it's out in California, and it's a pretty severe tax too.
They got it in New Jersey. They currently have that in New Jersey. Came about a year or two ago. They got an exit tax in New Jersey. Of your net worth, you get an exit tax if you're moving out of the state.
That's crap. I don't even know how they get away with that. I mean, it's so stupid. So, as you say, it's ridiculous. Out of control. And that was last year, but I heard about it somewhere else before that. And I think it was localized, but I'm not sure.
You know, I'm not even sure how they can enforce that. You know, I don't know. I don't even know how that's even constitutional. Or there's so many things wrong with that. There's so many constitutional violations going on in government right now, and it makes it worse is people keep voting for these dolts. You know, and they keep enabling all this junk. And somewhere along the line, the translation has gotten lost that the Constitution is there to stop the government from taking our rights away. It doesn't give us permission to do things. It gives them a restraint from doing things. They seem to have forgotten what it's all about, trying to turn it all around.
And do a hokey pokey.
Yeah, I guess it's time to get the taxi back on the road.
Yeah, you drove off the bridge, man.
Man, I went flaming right over the guardrail, down the cliff, a tumble in the whole way.
I had nothing to do with it, honest, Dave. Well, you know what they say, it takes two to tango, so, you know, there's that.
Yeah, as he has his fingers firmly crossed behind his back.
Well, you know, that's the way it goes.
So, welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup, the official start. The warm-up session, now that we're all warmed up, is past, and it's now time for the Classic Radio Roundup, 27115 on the AM dial, channel 13.
So I guess the first order of business is addressing your absence. Were you overtiming again?
Oh, I was absent the whole week, if you noticed. I had out-of-state visitors I forgot about.
Oh. Yeah, you weren't around Sunday, and you weren't around last Wednesday. Yeah, you got the missed stock mic night.
Well, I'm making up for lost time. I'm on my stock mic radio tonight.
Well, I could say this is a stock mic, too. It's not amplified.
This is not amplified. It's a hand mic. And it's hardwired into the radio, so you can't change it anyway.
Well, that's what I started off last week. I had my Mini 6 out, man, and then I switched to the Tram Diamond 40 with a stock mic. You know, old JR was pissing and moaning about the lousy stock mics, but, you know, other than that, we were having a good time for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed it. Because I probably got one of the better sounding stock mics around.
And I was very happy when 9 o'clock rolled around and they got organized and got their crap over together, and then they got rid of the stock mics. Break. Well, it was a theme, you know? It's a theme.
And there's a breaker.
Got a breaker?
Ah, there's the Menace out in Idaho. Hello, Menace in Idaho. 441 to Spitfire on Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, 441. I thought that was you. Been trying to get in, but hey, you guys came in here like gangbusters in the last couple of minutes. Sounding good out here in the Tater State.
Yeah, real good there, Menace. Good to hear you on. I caught you a couple weeks ago on the gate, and I was shouting for you, but you must have had an earful from the rest of the country because you never heard me, but you were coming in really well. And I posted the gate up on the faceplant somewhere. I tried to get it on your site and somehow I was unable to. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but no, you're getting about 5 to 7 right now, but she is swinging up and down. Good news is I get my Gladiator back the end of this week, so I'll get that old Courier back online.
Well, you're sounding good. Good to hear you on. Glad to have you checking in the Classic Radio Roundup. I'm using this old 8-channel Metrotek Pacer from 1965.
Well, the thing sounds choice. Nothing wrong with that radio at all. Sounds real good out here in Idaho.
Yeah, you're sounding real good yourself tonight there, Menace. No trouble at all. Coming right on through like a local.
Roger, okay. I'll jump out here with all you locals can get over the top of me and Give it a listen. 696, The Menace. Out here in the Tater State, the city of trees. I'm back off the key. This Voodoo Ranger sure is good.
Yeah, you'll like to check out the video gate this week and see how well you're coming in on this old antique flea market radio. Good to hear you there, Menace, out there in the Tater State. Thanks for checking in the Classic Radio Roundup. Spitfire 441 on this antique flea market radio.
Yeah, flea market.
I literally thought that was a local breaking in. Ha!
I thought so too. There you go.
On the back of your antenna, even.
This is also true. And I didn't even hear him.
Wonder why that is. You hear everybody like I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not hear him. Oh well. Better luck next time.
Well, it goes that way sometimes.
Yes, it does. My train was also absent last week. I hope he will grace us with his presence tonight. I haven't heard him for a few weeks. 2 or 3 weeks anyway, at least 2. Yeah, that's right. You're in there a lot more often. Yeah, he likes to pop in there Saturday nights and Friday nights and things like that. I just haven't heard him on Wednesdays. I think last week or 2 at least he hasn't shown up for Classic Radio Roundup, which is sort of unusual for him.
Well, I couldn't say for last week, but I think he was in there 2 weeks ago.
Maybe that time's just going by too quickly.
Yeah, I know. JR and I were talking about that. It's more years behind us than there are in front of us.
Oh, absolutely. All right. This way or where? That's about as best I can do. I gotta pull the lid off this and adjust that trimmer cap in there and get this thing back on frequency. So now I have to go all the way to the left on the clarifier just to get it close. Used to be right dead nuts on. Oh, crystal drifts, man. I mean, I have a 50-year-old radio.
Well, hopefully I picked my right capacitor to go with my only channel 13 crystal for this radio. I'm pretty sure it was the right one. And so I didn't check my transmit frequency to see how close I am. But the receive frequency is easy. It's tunable.
Yeah, according to my dial, I can't really tell for sure, but you are a little low compared to JR.
Well, it's not a whole lot I could do about that except start fooling around with picofarads, and I'm not gonna.
No, I got tunable receive too. I can just tune it in on you, but then, I can go back and forth. It's no big deal.
Well, my receiver's broad enough that I don't. You could be a couple kc other way, and I probably won't notice.
That's also true.
See, more than one thing can be true at the same time.
Good golly. What's he saying? No, you're saying you're wide, or he's wide. Somebody's wide.
Oh, my receiver's wide. I can tell you what's going on channel 12, 14, and 13 all at the same time.
Wow, that is wide.
Well, it's not quite that bad, but, almost. Exaggerating just a little bit. But if Bleed Over Bob is on 14, I can certainly tell. Or Bleed Over Bill, I can certainly tell what he's saying.
Yeah, that's mostly due to the fact that he splatters a bit. It's not really a testament to poor receiver selectivity.
All I know is everybody has great fidelity on this thing.
Well, that's the upside of having a wide receiver. It's you got wider audio bandwidth.
Yeah, and this was, I don't know, I probably brought it up before, but this was North Wales Tim's radio.
Yeah, I remember you getting that from him. Well, I think my Simba was originally from him at some point, and the Tram Titan 2A I have came from him, and my Cobra 2000 came from him. Did you say Tim over there in North Wales?
That's a Roger.
You know, he passed.
I also know that several years ago now.
Yeah, quite a few now. Okay, yeah, 'cause I was talking to Brian out of that crew over there, and he was telling me Tim, and there was another one, but I'm trying to remember who it was. Maybe Al. I don't want to say yes for sure, but next time I talk to Brian, I'll ask him. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Al passed away from that crew.
You got to get some new blood. The old crew's dying off.
That's the circle of life, man. All the young ones are on their cell phones.
There's a couple exceptions. You got Joker and Wonder Boy and, you know, a couple others.
Yeah, that's pretty sad when guys in their 40s I look at it like young blood.
Well, that's where it is.
I know. It's just another, it's just another kick in my head, How old I'm getting. Guys in their 40s are young blood.
Yeah, it does sound kind of wrong somehow, doesn't it? Oh, the young blood. Yeah, what are they? No, they're 40.
These guys that were not even alive when 40 channels became legal. They've never seen, they're never around when 23 channels were the thing.
I know I'm getting old when I'm seeing, radios from around 2000. These guys are all calling old radios.
Yeah, that's about a radio. 2000, what? But then it's like, well, wait a minute, that is 24 years old.
I have a hard time processing that the year 2000 was 24 years ago. I know it's with the date and everything like that, but man, I have a hard time processing that.
Yeah, it's like Y2K hit and we went into a time warp or something. It's like all of a sudden fast forward 24 years.
Cars from 1999 and earlier qualify for antique tags.
That's bizarre. My truck is a 97, and yes, it qualifies for antique tags.
Stuff from the 90s, antique tags. It's hard to wrap my head around.
I'm going to put an antique tag on my riding mower because I bought that in 1996. I can see you cutting your mower. I can see you cutting your lawn with a classic tag.
I was talking with a guy at work today about somehow the BSA came up, and because another guy's a biker, we're talking bikes and whatnot, and the young blood was there. He goes, "What year is that BSA?" I said, "It's 68." He goes, "68?" like that's some ancient time, And then he goes, "How long have you had it?" I'm like, 34 years. 34 years? I'm not even 34 years old.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
I've had my same motorcycle longer than he's been alive.
I've had my truck for 3 years longer than my daughter's been alive.
So she's known that truck her entire life.
Yup, pretty much. So how many years is the Classic then? Classic's 15 years. Antique is 25.
I saw a Honda Odyssey with a Classic tag on it the other day. I almost fell out of my chair.
That might have been Badger driving that.
I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm getting old. Honda Odyssey minivan with a Classic tag on it.
yeah, it's pretty bad when like cars that were made, in the 2000s are now considered classics. It's like I just can't wrap my head around that.
So CB radios from 1960s, they're ancient. Like my Pacer here, it's almost 60 years old.
That's why I put a hard stop on the years as far as classic radio roundup goes, because each year goes by, the sliding scale moves forward, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way in hell I'm going to call 1990s radio or anything newer than that a classic. It just isn't right. So it's like, 1983 or older, and it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, like Galaxy 959s or whatever they are, 929s, whatever. Yeah, classic now. Well, I guess they stuff from the 90s certainly technically classifies, but I have a hard time calling them classic radios.
They may be classic in age, but they're not classic in style. They're new Chinese, Malaysian junk.
To me, in my mind, this is my personal opinion, of course, take that for what it's worth, but 1990 is the hard cutoff for me. Anything prior is classic. Anything, well, not anything, but anything after certainly isn't.
You talking about radio or just stuff in general?
Oh, radios, CB radios.
Yeah, see, I can't even do that because they made a lot of really crap radios in the 80s.
My TRC 441 was in 81.
Yeah, well, as the decade wore on, I mean, the Cobra 2000 came out, early on like that too, 79, 80. And that was a good radio, but I mean, they just kind of, because basically the CV boom was over in the early 80s, and everybody knew it. All the manufacturers that we all know and love all folded one after another. Browning died, Tram died, Pierce Simpson died, Johnson died. They all just started falling off the cliff, and what we're left with is a bunch of newer comers, And Radio Shack, I mean, they stopped making base stations after a while, and they definitely stopped making sideband base stations, and all they had was that one little mobile for the longest time. And it just got, they became more generic. They're just not. They still have that classic pizzazz like the 70s vintage radios did and the 60s vintage. Say you're like stuck. That's what somebody said. You're stuck in neutral. You can't go forward.
As far as CB radios, though, I have to concur with Dave. It's true. The 60s, the radios had style. There were a ton of manufacturers. The 70s, the same thing. And then pretty much by, I'd say, early 80s, let's call it 83-ish. After that point, it just fell off the face of the earth. They were still running, 80, 81, 82, but 83 on, it just started falling right off.
Yeah. So Dave, I gotta ask you, what's your latest radio that you bought? That's a kind of a trick question. Latest radio that I bought, or latest radio, latest age radio? Yeah, latest dated radio. There you go. The newest radio I own is a Galaxy 2547. And that's the newest radio I have. Everything else is older than that. And I'll be right back. I got some popcorn with my name on it.
He's got me beat there, JR. My newest radio is a Cobra 142 GTL. Everything I got is older than that. That 142 GTL, that is I don't know exactly what year it is, but that's back a wee bit. The 2547, I don't know, that has been around for a bit, but I don't know exactly what year it was. If Skippy was in here, he'd let me know right off the bat, but all right, well, So what year was the 142? We need Dave to pin that down, but I'd say the early 80s at some point. I don't think they were made much past that.
All right. So you're definitely a classic, all right. You are. So, but you got ham equipment that's later than that, though. That I do know.
I only got one radio at this current particular time that's new. All the rest of them are old classics too, including my 2-meter rig.
Didn't you have before you bought this latest Yaesu, you had another Yaesu before that, but I don't know exactly. You had that for a little while, but I do remember. I don't remember the model number, but it was relatively recent.
I had that Yaesu 450 for a while. That was a pretty good radio. I sort of regret selling that one. That was a cool little radio. I like to have that as a spare, but I no longer have it. But yeah, no, my current Yaesu is my newest radio. Everything else is old. I don't have much in ham gear anymore. I got a Kenwood 2-meter all mode that I use with my reverse transverter. I got a 2-meter FM all mode mobile what I say? Not Kenwood. That's an ICOM. ICOM all mode 2-meter mobile. That's my FM box. And then the Kenwood 2-meter all mode I use on 2-meter sideband and with the reverse transverter, which is always fun. I got the multi LMAC and I got the B&W. Oh, and I got a Linko 220 rig. That's it.
Yeah, but really, that's all you need. I mean, between your newest HF radio and the other gear, you're good. You don't really need a whole lot more. You don't have no 440, but you got 220 and 2 meters, so, but and I gotta tell you, not a whole lot going on with 440, but yeah, that's all. And plus you got the boat anchor, so you're all good. You don't need no more. That's right.
Yeah, I don't even go above 50 megahertz anymore. I don't even turn any 2-meter stuff on anymore. If I'm on air, I'm somewhere on HF on the amplitude modulation using either the LMAC or the B&W. That's it. And then of course the Yaesu I use as my receiver.
Yeah. All right. So Dave, what year was that 2547? I know they've been around for a while. I figured, I don't know if yours is surface mount. If you had it for a while, it's probably not. So, but I don't know exactly what year they came out.
I got mine from Pete many years ago, and they converted it into a high fidelity transmitter. But no, it's not surface mount, thankfully. I don't like surface mount. It's hard to work on.
And I got it from that fella over there, and I can't even remember his name or his call, but he used to come on here and talk with us over around Skipback Way, almost. I can't even remember his name or his call. Holy heck! But I bought it from him, and he had it for a couple of years before I got it.
I keep wanting to say his name was Sam. Was that right?
Sam may be his name. That may be correct.
Was he the one that did? He was in here. He had all the echo stuff going on there. He used to pop in now and again. Oh God.
He got a ticket. He did get a ticket before he passed, and he set up some VHF, UHF gear. I don't think he ever made it past technician then, and then he died.
Well, that would explain why I haven't heard him.
He's a friend of Paul's.
Yeah, that's right. Paul would know his name and his call.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember back in the day. He was in there, and I could hear him. He wasn't doing too bad of a job. He was down there, down the skipback area, down off of 73. Well, he was on 73, I believe.
I don't think he was on 73. I don't think. But he didn't use echo neither, I don't think.
It may not be the same one I'm thinking of then. He was down around the church or somewhere in that area.
He had a 2970 that I bought off of him too, and I sort of regret getting rid of that because that thing worked really well too.
It might not be the same guy. I might be confused.
Who was that other guy that lived down in that area, Dave, that used to live in the Norristown area? Rubber Pants Robbie?
Rubber Pants Robbie. I don't know whatever happened to him, I wonder.
I don't know, but he still got my daggone 6-meter HT, the bastard.
Oh, you lent it to him?
Yeah, that was a mistake. Never heard from him again then.
This call's still active in the call book, or on QRZ, I guess. But yeah, he kind of disappeared during all the nonsense on 21. He couldn't handle all that.
Yeah, I can't remember his call either. Maybe you'll have to give me his call. I'll go knock on his door one day. Hey, can I have my Cherokee 6-meter radio back?
N3 NCC. Kind of like Star Trek, NCC 1701.
Oh, wow. I could actually remember that.
I think he still lives in the general area, skip back or something.
Yeah, maybe he still lives at the same place. I'd been there once before, but I couldn't find it without a refresher. I just remember you calling him Rubber Pants Robbie.
Well, the person who gave him that name was Gretchen. Because he was always crying about something, and she just called him Rubber Pants Robbie. And it kind of stuck.
Things like that tend to, especially if they're apropos.
That was back in the 80s. So let's see. My 2547 is the newest radio I have. But before, the next one down from that would have to be the TRC 465, which I believe is probably an early 90s vintage. And then before that, I guess we get down to the TRC 451, which is, I guess, 1981. And then after that, everything's pre-1980. I think the president of Washington might be 78, 79. Yeah, that was the old version. I think that's probably 78. So everything else is before that.
And the Cobra 142 GTL, that's like 80, 81, ain't it?
Well, that's another one of those radios that's kind of lasted a long time. They had a long production run, just like the 2000. So it could be probably anywhere from 1979-ish to, probably 1990-ish. I don't know. It's somewhere in there.
I stopped when you said the 2547 because even that's a few years back there. Quite a while, actually. If you got it off of Pete and he got it off of somebody else, that had to be 2005, somewhere in there.
I'm still considering that not a classic.
Oh, it's definitely not a classic. Yeah, this is the old version. It doesn't even have a switching power supply in it. It's got the linear power supply in it. And it was modified. I think R&R did it. It's got dual finals in it. Somebody added the second final to it. It puts out a little bit more power. I can get like 30 watts out of it on sideband. And they put some kind of other negative peak compression mod in there and cooped it all up with epoxy. And but it works really well.
Yeah, that was Sam. He had all that stuff done. He always had stuff down there at R&R getting modified for whatever reason.
Yeah, but they clipped the freaking limiter, so I had to fix that. If you can't group it with epoxy, you can't fix it or group it. Break. Well, there's Joker. Another our friend from Jersey, or near to Jersey, anyway.
Yeah, pretty close to Jersey. Hello, Joker.
Good evening. I keyed up a little while ago, but since I'm so far away, it took a little while for the transmission to get to you guys.
Good evening, Joker. Hello, hello, and hello.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Yeah, well, radio waves only travel at the speed of light, so, you know, when you're several light years away, it takes time.
Yeah, that changes handle to Jersey Joker.
Just don't call me Jersey Devil, because I don't like that team.
No.
Speaking of, I don't know if you guys follow it. Listening to KYW today, I didn't hear at all anything about the Flyers, so I'm assuming they lost last night.
Yeah, since I don't follow hockey, I don't care.
Since I don't follow sports, I don't care.
Yeah, especially the Flyers. But then when I moved over here to Bally, I couldn't get Flyers, so I kind of fell out of favor. So I only really listen to it when KOW talks about it.
And I try to listen to that ruined radio station as little as possible anymore. I'll turn it on at the 2s. If I need to hear anything, then I turn it off.
Yeah, my wonderful Ford sync system doesn't work at all. So I either listen to corrupted KYW, which they added a C to their call letters, or I have to listen to the same old AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, the same 10 songs they've been playing on the rock stations for the last 40 years.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's why Pirate Radio Sunday night is so much fun.
Stuff, just not the hits.
That's why Pirate Radio on Sunday nights is so much fun.
There was a good one in there on Sunday. He was 10 over 9 at some points. But it wasn't our friend, whether you Radio Free or whatever. It was some other guy. Because he was playing slightly different music, and he didn't have the jingles and all the personality going on, but his signal was there.
Yeah, well, it's always better if they got some kind of signal. Then I can at least pay attention to what it is they're doing.
Yeah, I enjoy listening to Radio Free whatever because I like the personality. I don't know, I could swear the guy must have done this for a living, but then might go back to being a pirate. But he just seems very, very professional. You know, like he's done this before. You know, he's not just some basement dweller. Picking his nose and whatever.
He certainly seems to enjoy what he's doing, and he is talented in doing it.
Maybe he's a Red Blanchard.
Or maybe he's somebody who just got fed up with the cookie cutter corporate radio scene and decided to just do his own thing.
There's a Red Brancher.
Well, maybe he's got a day job, and that's his hobby on the weekend.
Good evening, Buster. Red Blanchard, he was a radio personality who also dabbled in shortwave, ham, and CB radio.
That's something I did not know. Thank you.
You'd be surprised how many people that are in the broadcast industry also enjoy it as a hobby.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of jingles, if I can remember right, after probably some that you would actually recognize. He died in 1980, so he was born in 1914.
Yeah, so we can't talk about him. He's dead.
Well, he's got a Wikipedia page, so I'm allowed to. I can read it.
I wonder what his very last jingle was.
Well, I can look that up. Can I talk about the jingle?
I was seriously thinking about getting a jingle ID for the 220 repeater at one time. For $200 you can get like a Pam's jingle. I don't know if they're Pams or Jams now they're called. I forget, but they'll produce a jingle for you.
$200, I'll make you a jingle.
Not in the quality that these are. I think we could get something good together.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we have talented people out here. I think those guys could probably put something together.
Well, that's true too. We've got technology now, to process stuff in a professional manner.
Yeah, the way I hear Joker talking the gear he's got over there, I bet he's got enough to be able to put it together. For that matter, if KMOX Cosmic Radio would have put his mind to it, I bet he could have put it together too.
Well, it certainly would have enough echo.
He would have had hams exploding heads for miles around.
What was that, Pete?
If KOMX had to put one together, he'd given hams exploding heads for miles around.
So JR says, all right, he's the guy you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the guy I was trying to think of before that I thought was in Skipback.
Who, Sam?
The Cosmo guy.
Yeah, he's just east of Skipback. He's in Cedars. But he hasn't been around for a while. He used to have his antenna on a fence post, and he tore the fence down. So he's got to get another place to mount the antenna. And then he told me that the gamma match snapped somewhere, and so it's not high on his priority list.
Yeah. Oh, so that's the guy you were thinking of. Yeah, I should have put the two together, Skipback and Echo.
Yeah. Boy, I'm glad you resolved that tonight. That was driving me batty there, right? I was hoping I wasn't at the point where I was senile there,
Old Cosmic Radio could put on some world-class echo like nobody else.
That's all musician-grade stuff that he's got over there.
He made it work. That was the deal. He had it going on.
Well, that Venture guy, he was awarded the Radio Relay League certificate for 60 years of service. Oh no, the American Rotten Radio League? He was a professional.
Oh no! Anybody want to know what Bleed Over Bill's talking about?
Oh, he's on?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, this Browning Mark III isn't hearing him. This has a little bit better rejection, I guess. Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't notice him.
Let me try tune him to the other side of channel 13, and maybe I can get rid of him.
Yeah, put those IF skirts to work. Tune towards Ohio, not me.
I think that did it.
Woohoo! Let's hear it for a simple solution.
Tunable receiver can be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Especially if you want to work split. New CB radios can't do it.
People trying to escape the secret channels, and you could just take your little cheap Metrotek radio and tune in between the channels, and you could hear them.
When I first met you guys down there in Norristown, I had one of these Metroteks. That's why when I had a chance to get one again, I grabbed it because I knew what it was like. And I used to do that. I used to spy on people. I couldn't talk to them, but I could listen to people on the A channels.
Yep, everybody's like, yeah, because everybody's got 23 channel radios, crystal controlled. And all of a sudden now, they can't hear the channels, but you get some old boat anchor tunable receiver tube radio, and you can slide in between everything.
Yeah, I can go a little bit below channel 1 too, and up to like channel 25 or 6.
I'll be back. I gotta go get a drink.
Yeah, there's usually a little extra give in there. You can go up to 26 or 27 maybe, a little below 1. And of course you can get 24 and 25 in between, and then all the 5/8 channels, you know.
That's right. It's all right there on my tuner.
Yeah.
Didn't need anything fancy to pick up the A channels.
I wanted so bad to figure out a way to make the tunable receiver work on transmit. But I did not have the skills then. I was only a teenager, but I thought there's gotta be a way to do that.
I would have went the other way, looking for an 8 megahertz VFO and plug it into the transmit crystal slot.
Yeah, I just wanted to do it on the tunable, you know, it's like VFO control.
Yeah, well, that would give me VFO control. I just have to do it with 2 different dials, one for transmit, one for receive.
Yeah, well, I did do that though. I had an old, I think it was an ICO, or was it the Heathkit? I think it was an ICO signal generator, RF signal generator, and I turned that into a VFO, and that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I know somebody who took an old Lafayette VFO, put it in their 2-meter Kenwood radio, and got it on 11 meters.
Yeah, that's one of them crazy guys.
It was more of the challenge to see if I could do it than okay, now that I did it.
Yeah, when I tuned that transverter up, I was using my ICOM as the exciter on 2 meters. Of course, that thing, you know, goes out of band. And I slid it down to where it would work on 11 meters, and I just wanted to see what kind of power output. And the power falls off really rapidly, though, because it was tuned for 10. You know, I tuned that thing for the 10 meter band, but it did work on 11.
Yeah, I know it did. And with that 1-tube Italian amp behind it, it didn't care that the power fell off. In fact, it was perfect.
Yeah, right. The 40 watts fell off to like 4 watts, but it drives just nicely.
So every cloud's got a silver lining, you know.
Yeah, but when you think about the kludge that was, the 2-meter rig into a transverter. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and put a VFO into the crystal slots on the 2-meter side, you know, the fixed channels, into the transverter, and do all that, and put it into an amplifier so you can go on 11 meters.
Some of the things we do just for the fun of it.
That was strictly just for the challenge of it, to see if in my head, like, this should work. Let me see if it does, and it did.
When they ask, why did you try to do it? You say, because.
That was exactly why, to see if I could. And I still actually could do it. I still have the VFO, and I still have the 300 ohm twin lead going into the fixed crystal slot on the radio.
Oh, you use twin lead. Oh, that's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, I ran twin lead into the crystal slot and out of the radio, so I could, you know, unhook and hook it up.
It even has close pin spacing.
300 ohm twin lead works great for that.
Yeah, I used to just use RG174, that really super thin coax.
I found the twin lead works out quite well. It was the right spacing the whole way.
Where's Wayne?
Yeah, where's Wayne?
There he is. Hiya, Wayne.
Hi, Pete. Good evening there, Mr. Wayne. Good evening there, JR.
What's up, Wayne?
And Dave. I'm here. I'm listening.
talk a little too, you know.
Yeah, once in a while. You don't have to be called out. You can just jump in.
Well, I jumped in here late, and the conversation was already going, and I was just listening. Roger?
Sometimes it is fun just to listen. You gotta let us know you're around.
I was going to. I was just waiting for a chance to key up a little bit. Here I am.
Well, if you wait for a break on this channel, you might be waiting a while.
Wow. Yeah. That's true.
You know, but it does happen though. You know, then it got quiet.
Hello, gentlemen.
Don't call me names. I work for a living.
How's it going tonight?
Yeah, it's another wonderful classic radio Wednesday.
Yeah, Nostalgia Night on the CB radio.
Well, I'm not talking on a classic, although give me a minute, I'll switch.
Is that Mr. Fixer?
It is, Mr. Fix-It.
All right, I got you. Well, I'll get your name right eventually too, but at least I know who it is. And I think there was another low-level breaker in there. Was there another break?
Yeah, King Tut.
Howdy, King Tut. Welcome to the Roundup. Spitfire here.
Spitfire. How's this radio sound?
Well, you're a little light to me, but I think you're far away from me. But it sounds all right. I hear you, so it's working.
That one, it looks like a telephone.
Oh, well, there's which make is that? Several makers made the telephone-looking ones. I got a realistic model. 10-4 on the Lafayette. Lafayette radio telephone. Roger. It's working.
All right, thanks. Good evening, King Tut. Living a dream. Living a dream. Your Lafayette. Your telephone Lafayette. Now that's a classic. I had the white Midland telephone.
I have the realistic 23-channel telephone.
Mine was a 23. I don't have it no more.
Yep, must be a bad accident or something up there because it's an hour and 22-minute backup. Solid red.
How many of us got those silly CB phones out here?
I hated them things.
I hated them too, but I got one for free, so I couldn't turn it down.
Back in the day, I had an old Johnson. I liked that thing. It had character.
That's what we were trying to say, man. Old classic radios had character.
Yeah, whether it was for good or ill.
Yeah, because there's no other word.
Yeah, one way or the other. I had my Midland in my 76 Pacer back in 76, and the girls all thought I had a phone.
And I'm sure you didn't tell them any different.
Hell no. They thought you were cool, Mr. Fix-It. Back in the 70s, Mr. Fix-It was cool.
So what happened?
Like he got like the rest of us and got old.
I adulted.
Yeah, adulting is kind of boring.
I try not to make it so.
Yeah, there's a speed trap right over this hill too, so probably not speed trap, it's probably cop warning people.
Like I was saying on Sunday, though, I'm starting to get a little nostalgic and picking up things I had back in the day. I picked up this Midland 77-861 up at Jake's. I had one when I was 13.
Yeah, cool little radios. You make it a portable, a mobile, or a base, man.
Yeah, I had it apart all day today, cleaning it and just tweaking it up. I need a mic for it, though.
Yes, King Tut.
Yeah, I have a picture of this phone on the I had it all ready for today.
And where's the picture at?
Oh, Quad State Group faceplant.
Of this telephone radio.
You did that on the Quad State Group, right?
Yeah, the Quad State Group.
Yeah, I saw it. So that was yours. All right, 10-4.
Yeah, I don't do the Facebook thing. So yeah, I missed the boat on all that.
Yeah, I don't really do it either. I use my daughter's account.
Yeah, but the pictures are cool though. Good idea, but I'm just not there.
All right, then it got quiet.
Yeah.
I was reminiscent of the phone in the car, making Mr. Fix-It look cool.
I never had one in the car, but I got one sitting here on the desk.
I did put it in the car at one time, and it didn't stay in there very long. Get out in the distance, and then somebody's out in the distance, and they just couldn't hear me. It didn't have the best audio in the world.
Yeah, the stock handset on the thing don't have the greatest of audio, but I got a D104 plugged in there, and it doesn't sound too bad that way.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like them, because I'm not going to run that silly stockish thing. I always have to put a power mic on there, and that kind of defeats the whole point.
I leave the handset plugged into the cradle and plug my D104 into it.
Dave, you should have wired a preamp in the audio system and put it in the handle of the phone. You know, yeah, you might have been able to work that out.
That's an idea.
Well, that's true. I've done that already. Put a little op-amp preamp in the radio to give a little boost. But, the tone quality wasn't that good either,
No, that was more like you were on the phone. The tone quality, it sounded like you were on the phone.
That's what I'm talking about this, that's what everybody sounds like with them damn things.
One ringy diggy, two ringy diggy.
And you got one maniac out there trying to shoot Skip with it.
Yeah, but I heard it.
Are we speaking to the party we have dialed?
Is this the party to whom I am speaking?
Kids today will never know the joy of finding a dime in a telephone booth change holder.
Oh yeah, they have no idea, In order to even to know what a phone booth is, they would have to watch an old cartoon of Superman.
You probably won't get Doctor Who at all.
My number one son, yes.
Flying around time traveling in a phone booth.
I forgot about that old classic there. I forgot all about that.
So we're here to remind you.
There used to be a gas station in Douglasville that only a dime for the longest time. It's not there anymore, though.
Yeah, we gotta get gas for a dime.
Not gas, a phone booth.
Oh, the phone booth, yeah. Gee, I don't even know if there's any of those around. Not that I can see anymore.
Where was that at, Wayne?
I don't remember exactly. It was, after you come off the bypass, it was down, I don't know, about 2 miles on the left. It was in the center of the highway. But it was there for the longest time. It was only a dime to make a phone call. I used to drive a truck back then, and I used to always stop there because it was only cost me a dime to call back to my dispatcher.
I bet you I know where that was. Used to be a gas station right there at Airport Road.
Or was it that road, that route number or whatever it is that heads into Birdsboro? And they're on there a gas station there too?
It used to be 82, now it's 345.
See, that's where they go messing me up. You can't be changing state route numbers like that.
Well, they did that because the bridge got washed out. And they decided for whatever reason that they weren't going to replace the bridge, so 82 pretty much ended. So they just rerouted 345 that came up a different route and just said, yeah, we'll call it 345 now. And 82, you'll just have to pick that up down in Elverson or something.
Which bridge are we talking about that went away, that made that have to change?
It's a bridge on 82 in Birdsboro, just south of, I guess you're leaving Birdsboro at that point. It got washed out in a flood, and they, for whatever reason, decided they weren't going to replace it.
Don't know why I can't picture that, but all right. I'm kind of picturing that corner there, or that island area between the east and the westbound 422.
Yeah, that's got possibilities too, but I was thinking of that gas station. Well, it used to be a gas station. Now it's kind of like I don't know what it is, but they had a little outbuilding there with bathrooms in it, and I thought there might have been a phone booth next to it too at one time. It's not there anymore though.
Is that where the rental place is?
There is no rental place.
Yeah, it was one of them off-brand gas stations more recently.
I think it was at Getty when I moved here, and I don't know what it. And then it went someplace. And then it changed to something else, and then I don't remember. Then it became like a little like a small-time used car place, and it's. You don't know what's going to be there for any given time now.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. And keep on talking about it. I got to take intermission. Be back shortly. Countywide.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
I cannot remember the last phone booth I remember seeing. I was not a phone guy, so I don't know. Many, many moons ago, I know they used to be in the school. They used to have them in the hallways and all that good stuff. Well, that's not a thing anymore. But I think they were like 35 cents when I graduated, as I remember.
I remember it used to be a dime throughout most of the 70s, and then early 70s, and then it went up to a quarter. And that's probably the last time I used a phone booth was probably a quarter. Might have been 35 cents at that point.
Boy, they probably lost a lot of revenue. Then they had to spend money on cell towers. But I don't think the regular phone company had their hand involved with that, did they?
It's a whole different business unit.
Yeah, so that tells me they lost a lot of revenue out of all that. They were hurting.
I just walked in the room, but I think I used to carry 35 or 45 cents, maybe even 50 cents when I was a kid to call my parents to pick me up. Yeah, never leave home without that 35 cents to make a call. Yep, that was always in the pocket. And there were always phone booths around, you know? I mean, there was, right, I used to go to the one back in the day, you know, he used to talk on the radio and he wanted somebody to call you on the phone and he didn't want to give your phone number out over the air, so he give him the phone number of the phone booth and I'd get on the bike and ride up to the 7-Eleven where the phone booth was and wait for them to call me. And then I could give them my phone number and, you know, then from that point on we're okay. I think there might still be the remnants carcass of a phone or of a payphone near the East Greenville Fire Company where the B&H used to be. I think the carcass is still out there. Yeah, there was a phone booth at the Lesdale campsite on Lake Wallenpaupack, and I think the concrete base is still there for that.
See, you guys were all, well, not all of you, but Dave, you were city folks, so you had them phone booths around you to do that. But I'm trying to remember when I was in school, we went to O&J, and that's all country crap out there. We didn't so much have a lot of them phone booths out there in the boonies, so they didn't do us a whole lot of good. I guess that's why we had CB.
Bite your tongue, I am not a city guy. I'm a suburban guy. City slicker.
He's a city slicker. You're a city slicker. Don't try to drive me.
Hell no. Hell, I played in the woods when I was a kid. We had acres and acres of woods to play in. We built forts and trees and dig big holes in the ground and, you know, made trails for our mini bikes and go-karts and, you know, we'd make boats and float them down the creek. Yeah, there's no city there.
What suburbs are you referring to?
East Norton Township.
City slicker.
Oh, yeah, pretty much now, but back in the 60s and 70s, I'm a Red Hillian. My town was 1 square mile.
No, Joker, I think about you where you're at and where your pop was and all that, with the barbershop and all that. I'm convinced you were a redneck.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. I was so much, I guess you would call that nowadays. My backyard growing up was a gun club. I literally grew up on a gun, you know, at a gun club. So yeah, I think you're, you know, 1 square mile. We didn't even have a red light until they tore down the old Red Hill Hotel and put the Turkey Hill in at the Red Hill Ford Garage. Till that was when I was in my 20s.
I think that's a good style. You probably had a little, maybe a general store, but maybe your dad's place was the general store. I'm not sure if he had that combination going on. But yeah, we had a barbershop. It was kind of, it wasn't a general store, but it was a nice site there. I don't know. He had guns. He had everything hanging on the wall and all kinds of furs and whatnot. He was an auctioneer though to boot, but I don't know. We also had a general store in my location that actually had FBI wanted posters and the general store with a wooden floor, penny candy, and all that good stuff. So I can relate to all that.
Well, my grandfather sold, he was a barber. He sold guns and he sold CV equipment and fixed it. My uncle fixed it.
But we had, right up the street, we had the IGA, which was the Tigers Market, which was Redner's, which was every name that Redner's ever was up the street. So that was our store. McDonald's? Back in the day. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, you're definitely a redneck. I'll give you that. You're a sophisticated country boy.
I'm the one that's the city slicker.
Ah, there he is. Mr. Train. Good evening.
Bye, Train.
Bye, Train.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I'm the one that was the city slicker. We didn't even have a tree on our block.
Evening, Night Train.
Evening, Wayne. What's going on? What's up, Bagger? Where were you last week? I was around. I know, I had some kind of obligation that kept me away. Well, we certainly missed you. All right, it was nice to know that I was missed. Yeah, man, and today I was out in the yard. I did everything. I did everything except weed whack. But I did the tractor and I did the hand mower. It was rough.
Aha. Got to build up those grass cutting muscles again.
Yeah, it's like starting all over again.
At least it wasn't super hot for it.
Yeah, man. But anyhow, yeah, I'm the city slicker. Man, we grew up on the concrete.
Concrete jungle. My dad grew up in Fishtown.
Yeah, that was not too far from us, Joker. Fishtown was like, you could jump on the 3 bus and be down there in 14 minutes.
Yeah, he moved up here in 64 or 65, I think it was.
Oh, he did real good. The lady that I work for today, she said to me, she used to be from Kensington.
Glad that was a past tense.
It was, because she's a millionaire. Man, you imagine that? She not only came out of the slums, but she made it.
Kensington now is noted mostly for drugs.
Yeah, it used to be like Fifth and Luzerne, down around there. But man, you say Kensington today, man, it's like the garbage can.
Do you remember Kelly's Corner on Kensington Avenue?
I really do, man. I liked it, that place.
I was the manager there for a year.
Were you really?
Yeah. I managed the drugstore.
All right, yeah. I remember Kelly's Corner really well. I also remember Jerry's Corner. I don't know if you knew that there was a Jerry's Corner also.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Now, Jerry's Corner was where I had my first slice of pizza. My brother took me there, and I was a boy. Hey, you want a slice of pizza? And I didn't know nothing about pizza, Yeah, I'll take a slice. And man, boy, was it good. From that time forth, I've always looked for a slice of pizza that had that taste.
Yeah, I parked my car in the parking lot at Kelly's Corner one day, and after work I came out and went to start it up. There, somebody stole my battery.
You was blessed. They just took your battery.
Station and get another battery and whip it in. It was terrible.
Now, did you have to go walk to get that battery?
Street, and he had his windows broken so much in his car, people try to steal stuff, so he would actually leave his windows down with a tray of change on his dashboard and say, take what you need.
Yeah, and spare my window.
So we got somebody else to drive me and get a battery. I didn't walk.
It's interesting, because I have no friend of mine. I used to to work with, it was down in 15th Street somewhere. And he was an overnight supervisor down there. He came out of work and he went to start the car. It wouldn't start. Somebody stole his battery. So he went out and bought a brand new battery, put it in there. A couple nights later, the thief came, took the new battery, put his old one back in.
They should have left him a thank you note. Well, I'm not as old as you guys, but I've worked on a lot of old cars. But you guys probably did the same trick where you put a padlock, lock and chain from your hood to your frame rail with a padlock on it, right?
Yeah, well, back then, you didn't have locking hoods, and you had to do that, or anybody could open a hood.
Hood pins and padlocks to the hood pins. That's what I did.
Yeah, well, that was the other option, but people that didn't want to go that extent, they just put up underneath the hood, down, in front of the radiator support to the frame, loop the chain around. I tell you what, now, man, they're hacking into the newer vehicles using computer technology. Like if you have a brand new F-150, they can access the codes and everything right there. And then they come back and they just open your vehicle, make a key, steal it.
Yeah, well, they can do it electronically. You can start the car with an app on your phone. So how hard do you think it could be to hack something like that?
So now they got to come out with programs to stop people from stealing these new F-150s. Those things are expensive, and they can have it within less than 45 seconds. They can have your vehicle.
They've been stealing Kias and Hyundais for years with nothing more than a dongle.
You have to put a hot switch in it. See, that's what I would have, a hot switch. Can get one of them, that's what I would do. My convertible Mustang, I have a hot switch in it. I never lock the doors because I don't want people cutting the top to get in. There's nothing in the car to steal, but yeah, I have a hidden switch, ignition switch. Yeah, we used to call it a kill switch.
Yup.
My car has a built-in anti-theft device for millennials. It's a manual transmission.
My little daughter can drive that. She don't want nothing but a stick shift.
She's a rare one.
Yeah, she ain't got to worry. Even her father have trouble driving her car. Anti-dad theft. Hell, my wife wasn't allowed to get her driver's license until she could drive her dad's dump truck around the golf courses. Every kid had to learn how to drive the dump truck before they could get their driver's license. That's probably because that's the only thing that he could teach them, man.
Yeah, I miss my stick. I bought my first stick shift car in 1979 and have had one in the family ever since.
I learned to drive on a dump truck that had 15 speeds, 3 forward and 2 overdrives. Wow, man.
Oh, yeah, the old splitters.
Yeah, we used to swap back and forth, me and my sister. It was a Volkswagen. We had to pay the gas. It was $4 a week. It's your turn to pay for gas. I paid last week. You had to get up off the $4, and then we took turns driving it. So it was definitely a stick shift, man, that little Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, the very first stick I ever tried driving was a Volkswagen Beetle, and it was a really easy stick. When I got mine, it was a lot tougher. The clutch was grabbier. The Volkswagen was a lot smoother.
Well, a lot of fun to drive. All right, man, I seen a silver Volkswagen. I don't know if there was a such thing as a silver Volkswagen, but this guy had it down on Rittenhouse. He had a reserved parking spot for it. And it was, absolutely beautiful. And then it had a white interior. That thing was so pretty, I just had to smile.
Beetles were fun to drive, especially in the snow. You didn't have to turn the wheel much to make a turn. You just hit the handbrake, turn the wheel a little bit, the whole butt end would swing around, and there you go. You made your 90-degree turn.
Car slide.
Yeah, they went went through the snow pretty well because all the weight was on the rear tires, so you had your traction. School teachers used to drive those Beetles, man. You know, I guess they got out of college and, you know, things were probably tough, and they'd have them little Beetles. And there was this one guy who was really tall, and we couldn't understand it. Why does he? And, well, turns out that the roof and those things are high enough for a tall person because of that dome-looking thingy.
Another good car in the snow was my first stick, a 66 Corvair.
Yeah, I had a VW 63 convertible, and I put the adapters on and put Chevy wheels on the back that were snow tires. It was awesome in the snow.
63. That must have been a 6-motor.
No, it was 12 volts. I had a 64.
Yeah, I don't think they converted over to 12 volts to like 65, maybe. Yeah, we had a 69.
Oh, Corvair. Smell them fumes.
Yeah, the Corvair with the flat 6.
Didn't the Corvair's block used to crack?
First time I got laid was in a Corvair. Which vehicle are you talking about switching over to 12 volt? The VW or the Corvair?
The Volkswagen. They were 6 motors up to like 65, I think.
I don't know. That seems late.
Yeah, a friend of mine had one, 63, and it was 6 volts. That's all it took in them days, you know. If you had a little tractor battery, it wasn't much more than a tractor battery.
Yeah, and they were only like 12 or 1400 cc engines.
Yeah, this was either 1200 or 1300, something like that. By 69, they got to about 1600. That's about as much as they went. Well, you could, if you were a follower of J.C. Whitney, you could get bolt-on cylinders and stuff, and you could make it into an 1800 cc. I love that J.C. Whitney catalog, man. I used to drool over that the same way over the Lafayette catalog.
And if it ever died on you, you get a couple of guys, you pick it up and move it out of the way.
Yeah, me and my brother, he had one, a Volkswagen. He blew the engine up, went to a junkyard, got an engine for like, I don't know, $25 or $30. We pulled it out in the afternoon and put the new one in.
That's right. Yeah, that's the way life used to be. Life was much more wholesome back then, too. Yeah, we changed the clutch, and my friend's 63. We unbolted the engine. We put a tire underneath it, let the engine fall on the tire. Then we picked the car up over the engine. And it's somewhere along the line we got a hold of a transmission jack, and that's what we put the engine back in with. You mean like those little scissor jacks that you'd spin and turn?
Life was so much simpler.
Yeah, it was kind of like a scissors jack. It was meant for automatic transmissions, and it worked pretty well for a VW engine. Yeah, that's nice. I remember them little scissor jacks. I used to have to turn it for my father while he'd be putting the transmission in. Either that or taking it out. The bottom line was I was the man that did the twisting and turning.
And getting yelled at the whole time.
No, he didn't yell much. We had a whole lot of fun underneath them vehicles, you know. I think he was getting out of the house, you know what I mean, by us living in the city. You can't go very far, but if you go into the car, then Mother Dear won't bother you too much.
You ever see those memes about kids getting yelled at with the flashlight? I was that kid getting yelled at for holding the flashlight wrong.
Oh, you had it hard.
Well, no, what he was doing, he was supposed to hold it on the engine around the breather thing, and he was up there signaling airplanes that was going by up in the air. Hold it so I can see, not you. I know that phrase. That's burned into my brain.
That sounds very familiar. You should have said, Dad, get one of them kind you wrap around your forehead with the LEDs in it. I got one of those. I do too.
He would have wrapped his belt around my forehead.
Nice to have that light on your forehead there. And you don't have to hold the damn thing. Hands free, man.
Work bought every one of us a new Milwaukee one, and that thing is stinking bright, and it ain't very much bigger than an ice cube.
Yeah, I got one that I ride the bicycle with. If you look straight into it, it'll tear up your retina. Damn LEDs. Those LED headlights are horrible. I don't know them damn things. It seems like they should be able to tone that down. Change the Kelvin or do something, man. Those things are miserable. Yeah, they're the wrong frequency, that's for sure. Or just piercing white, you know, if they maybe yellowed them a little bit, it wouldn't be so bad. Or if they design the lenses to focus it more on the road and not in the oncoming drivers' faces. I think that they should get somebody on that, because you're not the only person hurting from that. I heard from that. Man, I'll be ducking and diving, man, turning my head. You know, they come up over the hill. Ooh, close your eyes.
Yeah, and the projector bulbs ain't much better.
The wife and I were just coming home from a wedding on Saturday night, and she was driving. She was saying the same thing. She's like, "Is it me, or have these lights just gotten way too bright?"
They're way too bright. It's ridiculous. It's like everybody's driving around with high beams. Then you flip your high beams at them, and then they flip theirs back, and it's like twice as bright. Like, holy Jesus.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I don't even flash people for high beams anymore, because chances are that's their low beam, and I'm going to get really killed if they flash me back. So I just don't bother anymore.
Yeah, I don't bother too much either, because it's like you don't even know whether that was his high beam. He'll get you.
They come up there on you, and they got all four lights on. You think, you know, hey, this guy got his high beams on. And then you flick them, and boom, he whacks it again. It's like, I don't know why they did the 4-beam thing for even low beam. That's crazy.
Oh, you're talking about the Ford pickup trucks with the all 4 beams on low beam. And them suckers, they get on my tail going down 422 in the morning in the dark, and they're right on my tail, and all 4 of them beams are right in my eyeballs.
Yeah, trying to tell you to go faster.
Can't go no faster than the guy in front of me.
No, that you can't do.
Let's face it, you only go as fast as 422 goes. It's as fast as you're going to go.
Well, somebody really dropped the ball by allowing that. They should have dummied them down. You know, fix it so that you can see us, but dummy them down so that you don't blind the oncoming traffic. Yeah, look, this is another example of how this country's a little behind the times. Over in Europe, they've got smart adaptive lights that sense when other cars come, and they adjust the pattern of the lights so it doesn't blind the oncoming cars. But they won't approve that in this country because, you know, some political red tape or whatever. They haven't studied it long enough or whatever. But yeah, they won't allow it here. Yeah, that's awful, because they are terrible, man. You gotta admit. Even them ones that I wear on my forehead, you can't stare at nobody with those things. You know, they have to turn their head.
And then all that aside, it doesn't matter. Americans are idiots for the most part anyway, because you always got some selfish jackwagon on the road cruising along behind you at nighttime with his high beams on.
Oh yeah, got all your mirrors lit up. Any way you look, they got you. Your side mirror, your other mirror, your rear view mirror, they got you, man. So, I got me some yellow sunglasses, man, for night driving. I haven't done it yet, but, I did buy 3 pairs.
They can't figure out how turn signals work. What do you think they're going to do with high beam indicator?
My wife's car's got automatic high beam dimmers. They go to high beams, and as soon as it detects another car, either in front of you or coming towards you, it automatically dims the lights down again.
Yeah, but they don't work all that great either, because my wife's car's got them too, and there's a delay to that. And then I see other cars that got them, and there's a delay to it, and invariably they get me anyhow.
Either way, you're going to get got. The other thing that sucks about it is they have a hard time detecting motorcycles. Why? Just because there's not enough metal there or something. But I think I pissed off one guy once because the light, it it dimmed, and then it went back to high beam again, and he must have thought I was being a jackass or something. I had to manually override it. So I didn't light the poor guy up.
Yeah, he might have thought you was flashing, let him go head on.
Yeah. It's just like any other technology. It's never foolproof.
Well, anyhow, they do need to dummy them down. Maybe they could change the Kelvin to the old incandescent look. All right, LED lights in my, you know, they're actually LEDs, the lanterns outside. But they got them nice and warm glow, the Thomas Edison kind of glow.
They could do it if they want to, but the problem is people are selfish and they like that bright white light. Screw you.
I was told once I complained about somebody's lights, and they're like, why don't you just get bright lights? I'm like, well, how is that going to help me not being able to see? I don't get that. Well, you'll be able to combat the person that's getting you. It still hurts my eyes. Like, wait, your response to me being mad about these bright lights that I can't see about is blinding the other person, so we both hit each other? I don't know.
Yeah, we can all complain together then.
Choosing nothing left but to square off and fight.
That's not much different than, you know, the complaints on the radio. It's like, oh, man, I'm getting stepped on. But I got to run all that power. Well, then why don't you go get a lot of power?
I'm going to slap the Edison out of you. Yeah, man, then everybody be running power just to get across the street.
Yeah.
Don't be a duck.
That's right. Don't be a duck.
That's what they all done anyway.
Never did ask you, P, you gate tonight?
That's Big 10-4, good buddy.
Okay.
Or how about this? Same thing. You're complaining about these stations bleeding, you know, 20 channels up and down, and you say something, and people are like, oh, quit crying, start buying. I'm like, well, what's that going to do? If I get a better antenna, a better receive, he's still going to bleed me worse.
Yeah, and so to fix that problem is what, me bleeding you while you bleed me? How does that fix anything?
So, you know, you could be just as spectrally ignorant.
Yeah, I bleed you, you bleed me, I bleed you back. Like, how does that fix anything then? But I'm running a clean station. I'm putting out just as much power, but I'm not bleeding you, but you're bleeding me. So I need to snip my limiter so I can bleed you back. Then that fixes it? What?
Yeah, just quit crying, start buying. That's the response. Yeah, I don't get it. But, you know, I'm sure most of the guys here that are on Facebook see the chest pumping, you know, CB operators on Facebook.
Yeah, all knobs to the right.
Yeah, and they don't care about spectral purity, have no technical clue about any of that, that all that power they think they're making, they're not making, and that's where the joke is really on them. All you're doing is annoying a whole lot of people, and you're not doing what you think you're doing.
There's 39 other channels. Find one.
Find one? There isn't 39 other channels, because you're bleeding 20 of them.
Man on the left and man on the right.
You're
Not enough.
You're bleeding 20 of those channels, so I don't have 39.
I know, I'm sitting here laughing because it's just those arguments. You know, people. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a thinker, but I don't understand how these people respond.
Tell a nut he's nuts, he's call you nuts.
Try to tell a nut he's nuts, and he'll tell you you're crazy.
He's nuts.
Good. Golly, Miss Molly.
Yeah, you're going to find out, Joker. Like, trying to educate CBers on actual radio theory, it's a non-starter. They just get mad at you.
Well, if I know anything, I can get people mad at me, but I just like to poke the bear sometimes. Because it's just like they bring up these things where or these phrases that they've heard regurgitated a million times, and I'm like, have you thought about that? Have you really thought about how does that make sense?
There's so many CB myths out there that just keep perpetuating, like RMS watts.
Hey, you gotta admit that CBers are a certain breed of people.
Yeah, Joker, you just gotta get a thicker skin.
I got thick skin. I just like poking the bear.
The modern CBer is nothing like the CBer of the 70s and even into the 80s.
Well, back in the 70s, only a few people had linears. But everybody was close enough together where, you could enjoy the hobby. You know what I mean? I went barefooted from the top of Broad Street, Cheltenham Avenue, all the way down to West Philadelphia with a 9-pounder. No problems, no linear, nothing. Now today, you get across the street, man, you need that 300 watts.
No. Yeah, they won't respect you.
Yeah, they discriminate you because you're not blasting. Yeah, blasting. And if you tell them that they overmodulate it, then they get offended at you, so I leave it be.
That's something else I was going to say.
I only get about 70 watts out of my amplifier, but Dave, many years ago, tuned this radio up so it's clean as could be.
Breaker, any taker. That's right.
Oh, there's 123 up there jumping up and down out of King of Prussia. You need more watts. Quit crying and start buying.
Yeah, I know. I'm the only guy that needs watts and ain't got them. Yeah, you sound good, man. Ain't nothing wrong. It's just that quick key, and we hear you well. You guys, 4 fingers and a thumb. What's up? Yeah, we just sitting here crying and complaining and moaning.
About all the damn hockey pucks. Get off my lawn.
I hear you guys. I couldn't get back to you, but I could hear you. Hey, Roger. Yeah, well, we hear you well, man. It's not a problem. 10-4. I gotta get into one of my spots, you know what I'm saying? I gotta climb up here on top of them all.
I hear you, 123. Don't mind us. We're just sitting here telling all these youngsters to get off our lawn.
That's right. No lawns to you.
Hello there, 123. Good to hear you popped in there, you did.
Yep. There's a guy right there. He's got all the watts right there.
No, don't be telling them that now.
It sounds like you got a new radio. What you doing over there?
I'm just yapping in between all these guys there, you know. They're making me laugh and chuckle a little bit. That's a good deal.
I heard you out there earlier. I heard you and, who was it? You and Spitfire talking, I guess, in the pre-warm-up show there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had to get him fired up there to get him in the right mood. That's what it was.
Yeah, this is about maybe 7:45, 7:50, something like that. I was down in Sweden, so I couldn't really get back. I was just sitting by here for a little bit, but it's good to hear Night Train out there tonight. And all you guys, actually, good to hear you out there. I got a solution for the blasting, overmodulated radio stations. What's the solution? Just plug their ear hole. If they ain't got nobody to talk to, they'll shut up. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Track them down and pin their coax.
No, right from where you're at. Just find out where they're at and just keep your mic key so they can't hear nobody but themselves. So they're going to shut up eventually. Oh, I walked out of the room. Who are we pinning coax? Yeah. Bagger, your Browning sounds choice, man. Thank you. This is what this is what roosters would sound like with the proper cap in it. Yeah, no, I mean the audio quality. The audio quality, not just the ping, but the audio quality is the best thing in my receive right now. Well, it's a Browning, Not much needs to be said, I guess.
Oh, no, I'm untrained approved.
No, I didn't say he was untrained, but Bagger sounds choice.
I'm on my Tram Titan 4A.
I thought you was on your Metrotek.
Yeah, you used to think it was my Tram Titan 4.
I didn't use the Browning because I didn't know if you were going to be on.
Man, I heard Bagger on his Browning, but by that time it was too late. I had already I was warming this one up and getting dinner.
How'd you know I'm on the Metrotek anyway?
Because I be sandbagging.
I should have known that.
Yeah, I'm like Wayne. Sometimes I'll just listen. Yes, that's right. You just listen.
That's correct.
So the Metrotek is still train approved in the audio department then?
Sometimes he doesn't listen.
Yeah, it's still train approved, but you know, Bagger just sound real good tonight. You just got to give it to him.
Bagger sounds good every night, ever since the first day I heard him back in 1992.
Is that the 3? That's the 3, right, Bagger?
Yep, Mark 3. Best one ever made.
Yeah, that's the best one. Maybe next week I'll jump on my 4.
Well, don't jump on it too hard. You might break it.
Actually, it's the 4A. It's pretty dependable. Who is that? King Tut?
10-4.
What's going on, man?
Hey, radio sounds good.
Mine sound alright?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Alright, that's good. It's nice to know. You ain't doing too bad yourself, man. When did you get in there?
I was on earlier and I was just listening now. I'm on that one the Lafayette that's like a telephone.
Alright, yeah, ain't nothing like an old vintage Lafayette, man. Yeah, I was looking at them Lafayettes, you know, on eBay. Somebody always coming out with, I let one slip by me, the one with the double meters.
Okay.
But I'm trying to cut back, man. You know I got the disease, right?
Yeah, me too. I cut back too.
Now, when did you get this one with the telephone? Are you on the telephone handle now?
Yeah, 10-4.
10 Roger. Now, how about your receive? Does it come out of the speaker or does it come out of the headset?
You can have it either way, but the speaker in the handset's not working, so I have the speaker on the bass.
All right, so you just talk into the, just like an old telephone. That thing is just as strong as them old telephones, isn't it?
Yeah, that handset's heavy. It's like the old phone.
Do you have to put a dime in it, King Tut?
Nah, not this one.
Now, see, if you had to put a dime in it, you could save money. Every time you get on, you know, you put a dime in that slot. At the end of the month, you see how much you got.
That's just called making an investment.
Phone slow, King Tut.
Hey,
Skippy, what you running tonight, man?
Montgomery Ward, 719.
10 Roger, sounding good, man.
Ooh, Monkey Wards, man. Don't see too many of them around anymore.
They're good-looking radio.
Yeah, they are. It's funny how all the name brand stores all had a radio. Montgomery Ward, Sears, J.C. Penney.
They all had radios, bicycles, and guns.
Yeah, Sears used to sell Browning shotguns.
J.C. Higgins.
Yeah, and then they had their own stuff that was made by Remington.
I have a J.C. Higgins, and that's who actually made it, the J.C. Higgins. But I got a J.C. Higgins 12-gauge bolt-action shotgun.
10 Roger.
Those are the good old days. I don't remember them, but...
That suck when you talk about the good old days that you never witnessed yourself.
I bought my first skateboard at Sears. Man, I probably first a lot of things at Sears.
I bought my first guitar at Sears. Sears Surplus over in Quakertown.
Was it a silver tone by any chance?
It was a no-name. It was, my brother and I both got one. I was very young at the time. Mine was a short scale Eddie Van Halen replica. It was a very poor replica of an Eddie Van Halen guitar, which, by the way, I still have that guitar. But yeah, there's no name on it. It's just a short scale little guitar.
Is it any good, Joker?
Honestly, I have to try to put it back together. They got torn apart. I never really actually even played it. So that was my first electric six-string guitar. And then over at Zern's, outside, there was a guy who used to sell used guitar band, all that type of stuff out on the outside. I bought a K electric bass, which I don't have that, unfortunately, anymore. But that was my first real electric bass. But, yeah, those were my first two instruments. But getting back to it, my first one I got at Sears.
Tim Roger, yeah. Yeah, I had one of them Sears Surplus store guitars. And it was on the order of a Les Paul. And I don't think that it was bad, but I gave it to a friend of mine. I didn't know what to do with it, no how. I think we all bought stuff at Sears, man. That's like... That's like the closest store to where I lived when my parents were living out there and everything. Before the malls really took over. Yeah, like, all of our televisions were Sears Silvertones. My very first record player / hi-fi / AM radio was a Sears. And, oh man.
Our first, my father's first CB was a Sears 23-channel mobile with no meter. That was his first CB put in the car in '73. And then of course we begged him for the base station. And I think the first base station was actually a Sears too. And then the Fannin came along. That was the third one. But yeah, up at the Kutztown Antique Fair, I bought a 1938 Sears Silvertone radio, AM shortwave. Restored it and gave it to my father for his 80th birthday.
Yeah, that's nice, man. Hey, King Tut. I just scored a Lafayette Dynacom 23. New in box. Never opened. Still in the original shipping box.
Wow.
Nice. I didn't even open it up yet, man. I've been so busy.
Yeah, but really the question is, would you pay for it?
Less than 100.
That's a good deal.
That wasn't bad at all. I need to open it up.
And it was never used. It's probably worked pretty well. Although caps could still dry out, crystals could still drift, but hey.
Make sure you fill out the Form 610 before you transmit.
You know, it was inside of the original box that it was shipped in. And then it was inside of the, the original box that it come in, and she never opened it. She wouldn't open it. So I hit to buy it now.
You gotta open the box and take a smell, man. That new radio smell, it's still there.
Ah, yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about.
And don't forget to fill out your FCC Form 610 before you transmit.
A walkie-talkie?
Yeah, it's a walkie-talkie.
It's a nice little walkie-talkie. I used to like those Dynacoms.
Me too. I'd have been happy if it had 3 channels. That thing got 23.
I had a 40-channel Dynacom. I sold it though. I probably wish there was no way I could have kept it. I should have kept it. Had a nice 4-pin mic plug on the front. You know, you could hook up your D104. And, you know, had a PLL 2A in there, so I could probably put 100 channels in it if I wanted. It was a nice little walkie-talkie.
I used to drool over that stuff in the catalog, but I could never afford one. So now that I'm grown, I could go back to being a child. I think that's what we're all doing with these things. So I used to look at the Radio Shack catalogs and Lafayette catalogs and JCPenney catalogs. It's like, oh, that's a cool looking radio. Oh, they want $200 for it. It's like, you might as well bid $1 million when you're 13 and you don't have no income.
It was actually $500,000. But hey, King Tut, are you familiar with the Dynacom 23?
No, not really.
It was like their top of the line walkie-talkie, man. You know, that baby was about the size of a brick.
How many batteries it take?
I don't know. How many batteries, Bagger?
Well, it's like the Radio Shacks. You could either put 8 regular double A's in there for 12 volts, or you could put 10 NiCads because they were 1.25 volts.
So I would want the 10 NiCads. They're heavy. She gave me a little antenna adapter. That's still in its original packaging too. It hasn't been busted out. And I could plug it in and hook it up to outside.
So you'll be ready for when we do walkie-talkie night then.
Yeah, I gotta test it, see how everything works out. Just praying everything will be all right. But yeah, I mean, by the fact that it never came out of the box. She said her father was a hoarder. He would buy, and then he'd collect. And there it was. And there it was.
He'd buy it but never use it. That's terrible.
Brainy, do it.
It was terrible. It seems to work out well for train.
Yeah, it was being preserved. Maybe the Lord looked down on me when I was a little boy. He knew I couldn't afford it. He's like, wait a while, I'll hook you up.
Good things come to those who wait.
Truth.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be all right. I hope it don't need no caps, because it's too small for me.
Yeah, they really squish them in there. But it's not surface mount though, so it's, there's hope.
10-4.
What should be your best sounding radio?
Yeah, can you imagine that? The Dynacom beat out everything. Sound better than the Tram and everything. Hey, Night Train, what are you on?
That would be funny. I would laugh.
It'd be like Pete's Metrotek beating out his other radios. How's this one sounding, Bagger?
What is it?
It's the D201 hand wire.
No, that's rich, good audio, man. It's very much train approved.
Yeah, I have to give it time because it'll sit there and dry out on me, so I let it warm up while I was sandbagging on you guys. We're getting dinner. Some General Tasso chicken.
General Tso's chicken. I like that. Nice and spicy.
I added some hot red peppers on top of it, man, just to make it give it some more kick.
Yeah, I take those red peppers that they get at the Chinese restaurant. I just rip them open and dump the seeds out, and right on top of it, boy, does that give it a kick.
Yeah, I like a little kick. As long as it's not too much of a kick where you can't taste the food. But I have a little collection of peppers, man, and the stuff I put on there tonight is like, I was like, these are lethal.
Oh, yeah, gotta spice it up. Whenever I get Chinese food, I always seek out the hot oil. They usually have it in a container somewhere with the seeds in it. I drizzle a little bit of it in my soup and on my wonton and my pork lo mein. No matter what I get, I just put a lot in there. I like it to kick.
I remember when I was down in Tennessee, we were visiting and friends, family, and we were all there. My son, he was with me, and my wife, and we were all sitting around, and I somebody was treating, and so we went to a Thai restaurant, and I asked for, the hot, and they gave me like mild, and I said, to the lady, hot, give me some hot, she, oh, you want hot, yeah, get you hot. She gave me that hot, boy, I'm telling you, man, you almost needed to call 911.
Yeah, you'll be the flamethrower the next day.
Man, I jumped up from that table. I had to go in the bathroom. I was drinking water. I was trying this. My son came in. Daddy, you all right? I'm telling you, they lit me up.
Well, you said you wanted hot. And they said, okay. Silly American.
They probably said, watch this, watch this. He want hot. We give him hot.
That Asian heat is way worse than the Mexican heat.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible because they know how to handle it. Oh, so you want hot? I give you hot.
You get that hot kimchi and the bean paste. Oh, Christ.
Can you imagine if they tied you down and you weren't allowed to get up? And, you can't move your hands or nothing. Just give them hot. That's probably what they should do when they want to interrogate somebody. Just tie your hands and your feet down and give you hot peppers. I'll talk.
I tell you, I've been eating a lot of kimchi lately. I'm a big fan of kimchi.
10-4.
Rotted cabbage.
Well, get that pepper extract, turn it into a liquid, and they get a hypodermic needle and stick it right in your veins. Whoa, that ought to do something to you.
That's what they did to you in Mexico.
What, the peppers in your vein?
No, when I was a kid, that's what I thought they did to torture you, because they made you eat the hot.
I can make anybody talk. All you got to do is tie him to a chair and put on Yoko Ono.
10-4.
Oh my God, Yoko Ono. I'd be stuffing hot pokers in my ears.
Yeah, I'd be hoping for death.
Now, Richard Pryor said if you want a man to talk, put him in some tight shoes and make him walk. I'll talk. Feet get to hurting. Yeah, I'll talk.
He was one of the funniest human beings I have ever heard.
I know. When I was young, I used to have his album, 10-4.
Bicentennial?
No, I think it was pre-bicentennial. I was probably about 20 years old.
You know what would have made a good freaking sitcom is Mudbone.
10 Roger, yeah. He was really funny.
Oh, yeah. The problem is comedians like that never would be able to survive today because everybody gets offended by everything.
Yeah, well, back then the people were more tolerable. Hey, King Tut. I was told that when Richard Pryor was premiering, that there was a little boy named Eddie Murphy writing some of his stuff.
I don't know about that. I'm trying to work out the timeline in my head, and I don't think it's going to fly.
No. Yeah, they said there was a little boy named Eddie Murphy writing some of Richard's stuff. So apparently, if it was true, the boy was a genius.
Yeah, because he'd have had to be young. I know when Pryor first, when he debuted, he was like, what, 21, 22?
Well, I don't know how old he was when he did the stuff that I listened to. Yeah, I don't know, because I was in my 20s then, early 20s. Oh man, late teens, early 20s. I mean, my goodness, it was. So he probably was 10 years older than me. Let's see, so that would mean he was probably 30. So that means Eddie was probably my age.
I don't know. I got a headache trying to think about it. You know who was funny though? Red Fox. Boy, I'll tell you what. If you got his album, he was filthy.
Yeah, he was nasty. And my brother even told me, he said he's got a filthy mouth.
He was funny though.
Isn't that what made them, all those guys funny? I was gonna say, nobody likes him anymore, but you can't forget the early Bill Cosby stuff.
See, Bill Cosby had a different way of doing it. He was the opposite of Eddie Murphy. He was he never swore, and you know he used to have some great humor just in relating to everyday situations, and it was funny. He was a classic old style kind of comedian.
Yeah, he was intelligent. That's what it was. That's the reason why he didn't have to do a whole lot of cussing and swearing. He had the intelligence.
Cosby was kind of like the little rascals of the comedy world back then.
10-4.
I always loved that routine that Cosby used to do himself. That was just hilarious.
I remember watching Sanford and Son one time, and what the hell, Fred's wife's sister, I forget her name, but he says, "You so ugly, I ought to take your face, smash it into some dough, and make gorilla cookies."
Aunt Esther.
Was that the Jesus Christ and God damn it skit on Bill Cosby himself?
Nah, that was Fred Sanford's son.
Aunt Esther.
Yeah, that's the one.
Heathen.
Yeah, the Jesus Christ thing with Cosby's funny. When I was a kid, I thought my name was Jesus Christ. My father was Jesus Christ, kidding me. And my brother, he was damn it. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was me, my brother, and my dad growing up. That was always the funny skit between us.
Dad, I'm Jesus Christ. Damn it, get in here.
And we're all laughing at it 40 years later.
Yeah, but it was relatable. That's the key right there. We all can relate to something like that.
Yep, it was good.
That's what made it funny.
So, Joker, it was just you and your brother?
I have a younger sister who is, she's 10 years younger than my brother. He's 50 this year, so she's going to be 40 this year, and I'm 47. So we had a younger sister, but she was always, she was too young to really be with us when we were doing stuff.
Man, y'all are youngsters.
He's the one that's young. He's the one that's young. We're old heads, man.
All these young guys in here, you know. This guy's gonna be 47. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the young guy.
Yeah, right.
I hit 65 next year.
I'm 66 now.
I'm going to be, so I'm old.
I just turned 64.
There's quite a few of you old pensioners in here.
And then there's Wayne. He's pushed 70 past.
Uh-oh, Wayne, you gotta speak for yourself.
Oh, man.
Flirt with the young girls, they think it's cute.
Lady asked me today, she said, Steve, how old are you? I said, I'm 66. I should have asked her, well, how old do you think I am?
You should have been like old enough to know better.
I went to the diner the other night and ordered the senior meal. Woohoo!
Do you know that when you're 66, you're 4 years away from being 70?
Yeah.
That's an awful thought, man.
I can order the senior meal at restaurants and nobody questions it.
3 years ago for me.
And the young boys, they call me OG.
We were at the restaurant the other last week, I guess. And my daughter orders an alcoholic drink, so they carded her, and then my wife orders one. I said, "Aren't you gonna card her?" She laughed.
No. Hey, where's Count Olaf?
Cleveland.
Oh, wow. Can't stay still.
No, he's a hockey puck. He's always on the move.
There you go.
Alrighty, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Call it a night. Time for me to hit the hay. Fun. Enjoyed. See you all later. Good night and bye. See you, JR.
See you later, JR. Yeah, my radio here tonight I'm using is pushing 60 years old.
Catch you there, JR.
Good night, JR. Glad to hear you in there again, and hopefully you'll be here next week.
Bye, JR.
Nighty-night, JR.
Hey, now, how old is the Diamond, the 201 hand wire series? How old would that be?
I believe they came out in either 73 or 74.
All right, so if it's 74 to 2024, oh man, this thing is old too.
Yeah, it's 50 years old.
Mine's older.
Wow, a 50-year-old radio.
My 60-year-old Metrotek Pacer and still talking like the day it was pulled out of the box for the first time.
It was probably mid-70s.
Oh!
Early to mid-70s. I don't know if there's a date code on this thing.
I think Wayne and my Barker and Williamson are about the same age.
Uh-oh, Wayne, I wouldn't take that, Wayne. You gotta rise up and fight for yourself. Wayne, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it, but I'm ignoring it because I'm getting a slice of cheesecake.
Yeah, he can't get you while you're getting cheesecake, man. Yeah, man, don't let him bother you while you're having cheesecake. Wayne, what'd you say your address was?
I ain't never met a piece of cheesecake I didn't like.
I love cheesecake, man.
I do love some cheesecake, but boy, I tell you, you eat it too much, you start to gain the weight real quickly.
Yeah, I can't eat a whole lot of it. Just give me a thin, long slice of it, and I'm good for a while. But man, I never met one I didn't like.
I think a man ought to treat himself to some cheesecake every now and then.
I got a Boston cream pie in the fridge.
I had 2 Boston cream Wawa donuts in the fridge, and the wife left the refrigerator cracked open, and the husky ate them both.
I like them eclairs, too. So the Boston cream, to me, they taste alike.
No, they are just different formats.
Yeah, I was saving me 2 Boston cream Wawa donuts in the refrigerator for the weekend breakfast. The wife left the refrigerator cracked open,
Oh.
and the husky ate them.
That damn dog.
I found Boston cream wrappers in the hallway.
Blame everything on the dog. Just throw them wrappers on the floor. He'll believe it.
And then Mini Man got in on that action. He's like, "Oh, dude, what'd you get? Oh, let me have some of that." And that dog, he don't never get into trouble, but he could pass up Boston cream donut.
Hey, I'll tell you what, is Krispy Kreme still in existence?
Yeah, they're still around.
Because them supposed to be some of the best donuts in the world.
Certainly better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, everything's better than. You gotta go north and get them Tim Hortons. If you want a really good donut, you gotta go to Redner's Market and check out their donuts.
Wawa Boston Cream are pretty damn good, but I didn't get to taste them this week. My dog got them.
I'm telling you, go to Redner's and check out their donuts. And if you get the Boston cream there, you'll find out what I'm talking about.
Pete, I don't think you ever get one as good as the ones that them dogs ate. The ones the dogs ate was like the best.
I couldn't believe the sucker cracked the refrigerator door open the rest of the way, got his face in there, left all the other food in the refrigerator alone. Left it alone. There was sliced ham, and there was chicken in there, and who knows what else. He took the donuts.
These are real donuts right here. Get them donuts. Did you see him put them in there? You see him put them donuts in? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, well, wait till he turns back.
I don't know, Pete. Yeah, that seems awful suspicious. You gotta wonder if the wife might have orchestrated that and took the donuts and left a couple of crumbs for the dog to eat, and and the wrapper on the floor, and cast a suspicion, and
That's a plausible scenario. The only flaw in your synopsis is the chocolate icing smeared on the hardwood floor. Now, she wouldn't have done that for love, money, or spite.
not even to divert suspicion to the dogs.
There's no way she'd be smearing chocolate ice cream on the floor, or icing. There's no way she would have done that. The rest of it is believable. So she could have consumed my donuts and cast suspicion on the dog. All up until the point to where there was icing on the floor. She wouldn't have done that. No way, because she knows who's going to clean that up. It wouldn't have been me.
I think Bagger should investigate this.
I don't want to bust this one open. She won't call me when Pete dies and tells me to come get all the radios. I mean,
You don't want to blow the radio thing.
He's staying out of that.
She don't know who else to call, but she knows to call Dave.
Catch that?
She don't know who else to call. She knows to call Dave, so he doesn't want to burn that bridge.
Yep.
no, I don't.
But he got you dying first, and he's still alive.
Yeah, I know. It's wrong, ain't it? But it's entirely possible.
Bagger got Pete dead. I mean, the man is in the grave, and the radios is on their way.
He gonna buy him some more donuts.
Poor Pete with his toes pointing upward.
Well, there's a plus side to all that. I might be dead, and you'll quit talking about me, but you got my radios to talk about.
Yeah, this is one of Pete's radios right here.
Yeah, there you go. Super satellite.
He wants to live for the day that he can sit over there and scream super satellite.
The legend lives on.
Okay, so I'm just throwing this out there since I'm the young whippersnapper here. Where's the chain of radios go? Like, am I on the list somewhere?
You have to get a hold of my lawyer, Dewey, Cheatham, and Hal.
It don't sound like it. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know if you're gonna make it.
No. He's way down at the bottom of that list.
He's too young.
I'll be over with some donuts.
Yeah, but he'll get the most use out of the radios if one of us dies. He'll get the radios for another 20, 30 years, where if I die, Dave might get them for another 5 before he dies.
And I might go before you.
He gets a chance to blow him up.
See, I will make use out of them for a longer period of time. Done and done. Makes sense.
Yeah, but I'll be dead, so you quit talking about me. But you can talk about my radios.
Super I seen a satellite on eBay for sale, man.
Them things go for big money.
I know they do. I wouldn't even touch it. I figured, well, let Pete have that.
Super Pete.
Super duper.
Super satellite.
And the wire antenna.
So all you need is a wire antenna.
I got.
Satellite and a wire antenna. It's a match made in heaven.
I built me another one of them wire antennas. I'm gonna be sticking that thing up soon. I hope before the leaves get full, man. I'm running out of window.
44 days. That's what he had, was a piece of copper wire, man.
Yeah, but my copper wire is 300 feet long.
I just wonder, how did he just suspend the radios, the ground plane? How did he do that?
Drive by his house, it's still hanging in the air. He's got one rope hanging it from the center, and on the radials he's got a rope at 45 degrees pulled out and tied off in other tree trunks.
There must be other trees around where he was able to connect them.
Yeah, he's in the woods, and his antenna is still up.
How big's the radiator?
The one we're talking about, it's just a quarter wave.
Okay, quarter wave with quarter wave radials.
Roger, and he's got it hanging in a tree.
Yeah, 10-4.
And the thing of it is, 123, he used to cover the area, man. Just about anywhere you went in your mobile, he'll pick you up if you break the channel.
Yeah, that antenna, his work. Quarter wave Dave. He's on a pretty good ground where he's at there.
Is that direct fed?
Yeah, coax to a quarter wave ground plane. Yep, easy match.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you droop the radials at 45 degrees and it's a 50 ohm feed point.
Yeah, it's a homemade copper wire quarter wave ground plane.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like a Starduster up there.
That's correct.
Except it's copper wire, not aluminum, not solid. It needs to hang from the tree.
Yeah, 10-4, copper wire, ground plane. That's cool.
I got one of them Stardusters, man. It's still in the package, the original package.
All I want to know is whenever you go to sell that PDL2.
Got it for you, gave it to you.
You'll have to wait until I die.
Well, if you die, I get your PDL2, all right? If I die, you can have my Shakespeare 740. How's that?
No, that's not no good deal.
Well, if you die first, you're not going to be using it.
I'm planning to live on.
I'm just saying, if.
Boy, this is kind of morbid, man. We're all talking about each other dying. Wow.
Yeah, but we won't talk about each other. We just talk about the gear that we got off of them.
Everybody dying now, man. Bagger, the only one still alive, him and Joker.
That's too funny. We're all dying off and trying to grab each other's gear.
Oh, man.
It is pretty morbid when you think about it. Holy heck.
Yeah, well, a lot of things can happen in the next 5 years. You never know who might still be. I mean, last year at this time, we were happily talking the original operator, and, well, not anymore.
With no signs of illness or nothing.
Probate edition.
You just have to make friends with my wife on Faceplant there, Joker, so when I die, she knows who to send the emails to come get my shit.
I'm a young guy, so I'm going to enjoy it longer, so if anybody wants to give it my way. Actually, is 123 younger than me?
No, I'm 59 this year.
Oh, okay, so I guess I am the youngest tonight.
Yep. The only one younger than you now is the Meatball Bandit. Well, at least out here in this district.
I don't know. How old is Wonder Boy? He's not that old. He might be in competition with Joker.
Yeah, him and Green Dog both are kind of young.
That's right. But I think Green Dog's older.
I think they're the same age.
The shelving I have to put up in my room here for the radios, that's all. Let me know.
Joker be like, Pete died. Joker be like, yes. Oops, wait, ho.
Yeah, Green Dog. He's in his early to mid 30s.
He's in his 30s somewhere.
Yeah, there's a couple guys younger than you, Joker.
So we're talking, the chronological order. Excuse me.
I have to say, Green Dog and Wonder Boy are probably on the lower scale.
Yeah, they're younger than you, Joker.
And Spam Can, he's new on the scene here. I think he's younger than me.
Yeah, but he hasn't made a name for himself. We can't just go give him our radios when we die.
Yeah, he's got to be a whole lot more regular on here.
And I do enjoy tubes. Just letting you guys know that.
Pete died, Joker. Yes. Oops. Wait, no. I'm sorry to hear that. Wait, wasn't it lumber?
I'll leave him to Metrotek.
People in the trucks going down his driveway.
He can have the Metrotek.
They're all going to go to Sandbagger anyway.
He's going cha-ching.
Hey, you guys looking for some entertainment this Saturday?
Come again, King Tut. What did you say?
Oh, this is Mr. Fix-It. It wasn't me.
Oh, all right, that's Mr. Fix-It. Go ahead, Mr. Fix-It.
I asked if you guys were looking for some entertainment this weekend. Doc's Irish Pub has a rodeo, and they got a mechanical bull they're putting outside on the patio.
Oh, good grief.
Hey, you had a break.
Oh, that's awesome to watch people break their legs and arms.
That's one way of guaranteeing we die early.
Hang on a second, break. There's other.
Well, I'd never get on that damn thing, but I'll watch somebody else bust their ass.
No, I don't even want to watch him. Somebody out there breaking. Go ahead there, break.
What's going on, man?
Is that you? What's going on, man? What you doing in here?
Nothing, man. I heard you guys got a classic radio roundup or something tonight. That's what I heard on Facebook. So I knocked the dust off this old Cobra 2000 there, break.
Hey, you sounding good, Johnny. Sounding real good, man. Real smooth, man. What you got? Some extra equalizers or something in there along with that microphone?
I just took the plug out of the Ranger and put it into the Cobra 2000 there, Tempo.
Roger that. It sounds good. Let me step aside so the guys can say hello. Gentlemen, that's Fast Johnny, man. We go way back.
Hello, Fast Johnny. That's Skippy in Morgantown, PA.
I just want to say hello and goodbye because I'm going to pull a plug here. It's about that time, so we'll catch everyone later. Another fun-filled edition of Classic Radio Roundup in the can. We'll see you next.
Yep, I'm doing the same thing. Hello, Fast Johnny. Spitfire, somewhere around Sanatoga. Hello, goodbye. It's the end of the night for me on Classic Radio Roundup. See y'all on Sunday. If not, I'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget, the video gate will be uploaded the same place, same time, tomorrow sometime. Johnny, what?
Dave and Pete, get you.
Hey, Bagger, see Pete.
See you guys. I don't know. I heard Fast Johnny in there, but apparently I got channel 6 bleeding me pretty bad. So I hope I'm not stepping on him, but I just want to say hello.
All right, good night, guys. Six is backing out, too. Good night, guys.
Johnny, most everybody was signing off. You came in kind of late there, 10-4.
Yeah, 10-4, man. I kind of figured that. I have a real hard time hearing those other guys, man. I don't know what it is. You must just be in a prime location up there.
Yeah, that's all it is. Nothing special, just the hill that I live on, 10-4.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, we've always been it. We know that ain't problem stalking each other, man.
That's true. Yep. Way back when Purple Butterfly was alive.
Man, that was years ago, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting old now, Johnny. I put in for my retirement, 10-4.
Man, you ain't. I'm old too. I'm getting old too, man. Hey, break.
Hold on for a minute, Johnny. Go ahead, break.